Hi there, welcome to Baking with Intention, the second in a series of videos for Camcakes AZ. My name is Cameron Rao, and I'm here with Sue Jones and Zarina Neferetti.
Hello. Hi.
And today's episode is about gluten-free camcakes. Now, I chose these two women because I have several gluten-free customers, but I don't have any that express their love for camcakes quite like these two.
We like them a lot.
Yes.
And when I asked them what flavor I should make them, they both in unison said red velvet.
Red velvet.
So we're going to talk today about gluten-free camcakes because people don't always think of camcakes for gluten-free. And whether you have true celiac disease or you have just an intolerance to gluten, it's important that you understand that there are options out there for you. Camcakes is one of those options. And if you're having a special get-together and you have a few gluten-free clients or customers or family members, why not make the entire batch gluten-free and then you don't have to single them out with a special flavor?
That's right.
They won't notice, you guys.
Absolutely not. The non-gluten-free will never know.
So, Zarina, we talked before, and I know oftentimes when I've brought camcakes to the Tucson Improv Movement, I've seen your expression and your light up, and I think one time you had mentioned something about you don't get baked goods like this.
You really don't. I was diagnosed with celiac disease in 2008, so I've known about gluten-free foods for about 10 years, and it's really hard to get something that doesn't just crumble apart or taste like garbage or that's just like really dry, and you just don't enjoy a lot of gluten-free food. So camcakes changed that for me. So it's awesome.
I love to hear that, and that's one of the main reasons I invited you here today. And Sue, the same thing happened kind of with you because, I mean, in the sense of, I know you have an issue with gluten, and that you've gone as far as to actually order some special baked goods from me.
That's right. I have had celiac disease since the 1990s, so I've gone through the gluten-free realm of black cardboard to camcakes, which is so tasty and so delicious. And I also have taken across the country from Tucson to Charlotte to my son's wedding a whole box of lemon bars. And nobody at the party knew that they were gluten-free. In fact, my son said to me, "Mom, why are you eating those?" I said, "Because they're gluten-free." And he said, "Oh, they're delicious."
Yeah, one of the things I hear most from my customers that are gluten-free is the texture and the taste is most amazing. So I'll tell you a couple of my secrets because I'm not one for hiding secrets. I use Bob's Red Mill flour, the 1-to-1 ratio, which is the gluten-free blend. I add a little bit of cassava flour. Cassava is a root vegetable. It gives it that regular taste, that normal gluten taste that most people miss when they have to go gluten-free. And that's why it passes well for people that don't have celiac. But it's nice that you don't have to be singled out when you just have red velvet cake. You'd be like, oh, I'm sure people around here would love a red velvet cupcake.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is have each of you take a bite of your red velvet cupcakes.
This is the part I was
Looking forward
looking
to
forward
all
to.
of it.
I've been
So
kind of like
excited.
waiting for this.
Yeah.
And so then I'm going to ask you to tell me, a few things about what you think from that bite. What comes to mind when you take a bite of a camcake? And you don't have to finish the camcake, obviously it's a big camcake. I didn't make you minis this time, but I wanted to make sure.
It's true, I'm actually used to eating minis, and I'm excited to get a full size.
I know, I'm like, it's okay that you made us a full-size cupcake.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yum.
Thank I know.
Oh my gosh.
Jokingly, I often refer to, a lot of times, these sounds are reserved for other rooms in the house than the kitchen.
Okay. My favorite part, so like, already, it's like, you know how the top of a muffin is like the best part because it's like moist and like beautiful? The top of this cupcake's just like that. It's just like beautiful and buttery and amazing. And that's the thing, like it's still like together. Usually
Wait,
when
I don't see any crumbs.
Exactly. Usually when you eat gluten-free things, everything just falls apart.
That's really crummy.
And
ta-da.
joke. But yeah, so this stayed together, you guys. It's still one cupcake and not 5 different cupcakes.
Yeah, and one of the main things I really like about Camcakes is the icing. It's so smooth, and a lot of times gluten is hidden in icing. And with Cam, we know there's no gluten hidden in this icing, and it's so delicious.
I've actually researched, and in my recipe, I've had to use like emulsions, and I use companies that are gluten-free, so that I don't have to have special emulsions just for my gluten-free customers. I use my gluten-free emulsions for everything, and I found a superior product.
It
Oh,
is
it's
so
so
good.
good, so good.
Yeah.
One thing I really like about Camcakes, one of the things that I would say is that the texture is, like Zarina said, you know, it doesn't crumble, but it kind of melts in your mouth. You know, it just kind of melts. It just slithers down your throat.
Do you dare say that word that most people hate?
Moist.
Moist.
Which is something that most gluten-free things are not.
No, they're not.
So I'm a fan of that word, even though it's kind of a gross word.
It is
I
gross.
like it in my baked goods.
But these are really moist. You know, we moved here from Pittsburgh about 4 years ago, and I left behind a wonderful bakery. And I came here and I found a gluten-free bakery and another one, and they were terrible. I was so disappointed. I tried to talk my friend to move out here, but then I found Cam, and like now I'm putting weight on. That's not good.
I know. She's an aerobics instructor and a Pilates instructor, and so sometimes she has to have an extra class or two just to work off the Camcakes. But I
Yeah.
appreciate her orders. She's a VIP customer. I
Oh.
appreciate your orders. You're a VIP customer.
No, it's so good, and it's chewy.
It
Which,
is
like
Mm.
gluten-free stuff isn't chewy because the gluten is the chewy part. I don't know how you do it, but these are
You know
you
what
can't
else?
tell.
They freeze well.
Oh, I haven't.
Because I've done
I
that.
usually just eat them all.
See, order a dozen.
And they freeze well. That's another thing about Camcakes. They freeze really well, and then you eat them, and they taste delicious as like the first day.
Yeah. You know, you have to order by the dozen, but if you have to put 6 in the freezer and have 6 for breakfast. No, not
Sometimes
6.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean.
They're a good breakfast item. There's eggs in them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's how I
it's a
like
breakfast food.
That's how I like my eggs
Yeah.
in a cupcake. Well, I appreciate your willing to be a guinea pig for the 77th
I'm
time.
very happy to be a guinea pig for you. Anytime you have any
Yeah,
gluten-free goods,
anytime you need gluten-free tasting tests, we're here for
And
you.
I like being challenged. If you have a recipe for gluten-free that you don't see on my website, all my flavors come in gluten-free.
yes.
And we'll have another episode for vegan too, but I'm still mastering the vegan cupcakes. I've got a little better grip on the gluten-free than I have on the vegan.
These are really great, you guys.
These are delicious, so order your gluten-free cupcakes now, or lemon bars.
Yeah, lemon bars will be the December special. They've never been on Camcakes in the year and a half we've been up and running as a full-time business. So if you would like to try the gluten-free lemon bars, they are $15 a dozen.